Um, I'm just going to launch this, and if you could focus behind me for a few minutes. The purpose of this last section is to give you an opportunity to go back, think about the modules we went through. We've been doing some reading about education theories, and we've been looking at new technology, so we want to try to pull them back together. And there is no comprehensive education theory for emerging technology. And what I want to encourage you to do as you're thinking about it, we have some existing educational theories that come from psychology that we've studied in schools for a while that tell us something about how people think. But even then, I come from the quote hard sciences. Behavioral sciences are much looser. Let's put it that way. A lot will depend on the context, the situation. So even in the classroom world, which has been studied for longer, we don't have absolute hard theories. We at best have people like Piaget and Vygotsky that give us some good approaches to how people think. So what I'm going to be asking you to do is to team up. I have a few people who put through some ideas. Think back to the different modules. Each one had a sort of theme. Now, they're very loose themes, but what I would ask you to do is that between now and next week, and this will be your last assignment for the course, so that this is the concluding assignment, you'll be put into a team. I'd ask your team to do a combination of maybe meeting in Second Life, phone calls. I'll put up a section in the course if you like, where you can share ideas, and then next week at this time, I'd like each team to take about 10 or 12 minutes and come forth with some generalizations that you can make about how we can use these technologies, and see if you can find theories about learning and communication that seem to cover some of where these new technologies are going. So it's, again, one of these very open-ended assignments, but in this whole MALET program, the field is open-ended. This is not a defined field. This is not physics or chemistry or English. We're looking at things that emerge. So I want to see your take on this. I really want to see you come forward, and I would ask if I could get your permission to tape each group as you presented, because I'd like to start creating a repository. You're really the leading edge of a new master's program that's looking at a whole emerging field that's global. That's why people like David will have real advantages with being bilingual. Looking at some of the educators we have here, we have quite an interesting group of students. So I really want to encourage you. I've been so excited this semester with all of the creativity you've had. So I want you to take that next step, try to integrate a bit, but you don't have, I have no particular thing in mind. I'd like you to come up with the ideas. And a few of you stepped up and gave me your ideas, so I put your names. I think if you look over here, I'll walk over to it. I did get some names. And that was not elegant. I just went and bumped into the side so that you could tell which sign I meant. But let's see. We've got Doris. David, let me start over at this side. Jennifer, can you tell me or text in which of these areas you might be interested in? If you can see, there are 4 modules, and module 3 is pretty well taken up. But from 1, 2, or 4, do you have one of those you'd like to join, Jennifer? Okay, so we'll put Jennifer down for 1. Any of you others that haven't signed up yet interested in 1? So, oh, I'm standing in front of it. Let me move over. Oops. Okay, can you see it now? Okay, let's see who else didn't sign up. Trying to think of who else didn't sign up. Lindsay, do you have one of these you'd like to be involved in? I've got Jennifer down for one. Okay, Lindsay, let's put you and Jennifer in one then, so that pretty much takes up number one. Okay, I've got Lindsay. I see Hattie's over there. Hattie, which one would you like? We have 1 and 3 are gone. We have 2 and 4. And Julia, hi Julia. And if Julia and let's see who else. Cindy, she might be a little bit late. If you folks would step up to which ones you want. I'll go with 2. Okay, so David's in 2 and Phyllis is in 2. So we've got a good pair there. We've got Jennifer and Lindsay in 1. Okay, Hattie, how about you? I think we need someone else in 4. Oh, okay, Julia, which one had you asked for? Oh, I'm sorry, Julia, you're already in number 3. My mistake. Your name's already listed. Yeah, Julia had signed up already, so she's set. I think we have somebody and everything. Cindy should be coming before too long. Vivian, we've got you in 4. I'm not sure which one is Vivian here. Vivian, are you here? Oh, okay. So that's you, Vivian. You're... Oh, okay. All right, so Vivian's there. I'm going to let you folks work together for a bit, and I'm going to disappear. You don't have to stay for too long, but I would suggest that maybe you use this time to just brainstorm and delegate, or agree that you'll come up with an outline and come back later and figure it out. But you can always email me in between, but I'll let you just figure on how and when you're going to meet. Next week, when you have your 12 minutes, oh, here's Hattie. When you've got your 12 minutes, I'll ask that you delegate among yourself who's speaking when. I would ideally like everybody to spend some time presenting. I'll bring the slides up behind you. You could have as many slides as you like, but I probably wouldn't go more than 7 or 8. You'll have 12 minutes, and I can pull different slides into place. So before next week, I'd ask you to give me a PowerPoint that kind of summarizes your ideas, and then figure out among yourself who is going to speak when. I'll call you on stage. I'll be in the background taping, and it'll be your show. I really am interested in hearing what you've come up with. And I will say that there are others in this program who are eager to hear what you would synthesize. So I'll turn my mic off now, and if there are any other general questions, and then I wanted to just give you 5 minutes on something else. But are there other questions about the project? You got it, Phyllis. Yes, and let's see. Vivian, your partner is going to be Cindy, who just arrived. And I do like the way we come into the picture. Okay, so Cindy, I didn't have them in advance, so I couldn't write them up here, but Cindy and Vivian are going to look at the topics in Mod 4. Hattie, I don't have you listed yet. You're going to be the third person on one of these modules. Which one would you like to be involved in? Okay, I'll be leaving soon, and I'm hoping that you'll all maybe do a little preliminary planning before you all disperse. And Hattie, the 4 modules are kind of summarized up on that chart. Maybe you could see who seems to be a good match, and you could kind of work on that. Just one other thing before I leave. Can you all zero in on the middle chart, and I'll step away, the one right in the middle of these 3. Can all of you zoom in? Can you see those little graphics that I put in there? Yeah, Phyllis, you folks would decide on what you thought were key topics that you learned in that module, and that you learned through your expanded stuff too. The modules were just frameworks. So you would then go, this middle chart is something different. It doesn't relate to the presentation, so don't worry about that. The purpose of this middle chart, it's something that I'm learning about the MALET program myself, so I just wanted to point out. Some of you are full-time in the MALET program, some of you are matriculating, but the MALET program is really unique. I'm very excited about it myself. This first year, you're pretty much taking courses like this, introductory courses that you get to read and explore. By the second year, if you look over, you'll see I've got a bunch of little schematics. You can go independently into an area you want to on your own. There are a couple of courses that are already designed. One of them is on virtual reality, so I'm hoping some of you will join me there. There'll be some courses in art areas, also in science and technology areas that you could join in. Or you could really just go on your own in the second year. And some combination of that. In the third year, when you're finishing, you can either go in a kind of classic research mode. Maybe Hattie wants to research how students use Facebook to supplement their learning when they come to the museum. She might want to go pure research. Phyllis might want to do a practitioner final project where she develops a course online that uses new techniques. So in your final year, which might be the third year or later, depending on how fast you go, you pick your modality, so to speak. But another thing, if you look at the top there, that top one is really what's intriguing to me. Emerging technology is new, and you can choose to work either independently or join up with a faculty member. For example, I do STEM work, and I work in virtual reality, so some of you that might be interested could partner up with me. There are other faculty. We have some really interesting art faculty that are doing kind of performance art using technology. It's another cool area. We're even looking to see if students in the MALET program might want to work with a teacher who's developing an online course for Empire State College. So there'll be a number of ways you could collaborate, and either collaborate with a faculty or staff member at the college, or you might choose to collaborate among yourself. So the program is very interesting. And I come out of teacher education where everything has to be marched to the same drummer. So I'm excited about the possibilities. So I just wanted to show you the chart. I also just got eDraw, which is what I did that in, so it was kind of fun. But just want you to keep your creative ideas going. Yeah, I think I just lost some of the script that went by. Yes, you can transfer courses in. And so, yeah, Jennifer, a certain amount of your courses could come in and fulfill some of the MALET requirements. I think at least 3. And maybe you can negotiate in more. I found that a lot of things are negotiable. So, Dr. Diane Gal, I'll type her name in. She's the program chair. But committees of us make decisions. So some of you are in other master's programs at the college. If you decide MALET is the way you want to get your certificate, we can transfer courses back and forth. So the program's quite flexible and quite new. And you can go in a lot of directions and wind up with some different degrees. Yeah. So keep in touch with me or Diane. And we'll have advisors because this is such a unique program. We do go through something called educational planning with you, where you kind of make a pathway and then we help you figure out whether it's going to meet all the requirements. So we'll work with you. But there are a lot of options, and I'll email you this PowerPoint too. But it's just to kind of give you an idea of the breadth. So that's just an overview. But any questions now? Eileen, hopefully people could hear me. I was trying to talk. Cindy, will have you... Okay. And Hattie can hear me too. David asked a question about whether we should be in touch, whether you should be in touch with your mentor and advisor yet. I think we're getting prepared to reach out to you. I have advisees that are further along, so I'm not quite sure who your advisors are yet. Those of you that started in January don't really hit these decision points until the end of December. Okay, so Diane's excellent. But if you don't hear from somebody, email me and I can find out. Okay, so I think Diane Gal might be sort of the generic advisor until she delegates out. But yes, always email her. She'll tell you when the next advisement sessions are coming up. But just know that as you go on after the first year, you have a lot of flexibility. So this course was designed to expose you to a lot of different areas. So as you're summarizing for this last class, I'm hoping you're thinking about ways that might work for you. You know, I wanted you to think around something that might be of interest. That's why I had you kind of pick an audience. So as you go forward, you know, you may want to continue on with what you started or go to something different. Okay, well, I'm going to leave you guys to your own devices now. I'd suggest you make a delegation plan. I'll open up a section in the course if you want to, you know, share documents there. And you're on your own. So by maybe by Tuesday, if you sent me the PowerPoints, I'll get them all ready. And I'll be ready to tape you. And so hopefully we'll have a nice presentation. Bye, folks.